Welcome back. At this point, you've got some great foundational knowledge of what UX is, and you've chosen your first portfolio project. But before you dive into your first project, we're going to introduce the peer review portion of this certificate. Iterating on a design using feedback is an integral part of effective UX design. As you start this second course, you'll find a new type of assessment, peer reviews. Peer reviews are assignments that enable learners to provide feedback on each other's assignment submissions. In this certificate, peer reviews are much more than just graded assignments. This practice of providing and receiving feedback is an important skill that you'll need in your work as a UX designer. In peer review assignments, you will submit your document for review from your peers. Next, you'll review the work of your peers using a rubric and the comment section. The peer reviews you will be working on are your first step to be part of a design team. This is where you will practice giving and receiving feedback like a UX designer. You've already learned that effective UX begins with collaboration and research. The best way to think of the peer review process is as practice for future collaboration with members of your UX team in the workplace. Peer reviews can be intimidating, but the first thing you should know is that you're already kind of a pro. You've been interacting with UX your whole life. From watching the flow of traffic, to organizing your closet, to navigating this very website, you've been an engaged user. This certificate will help you create and comprehend the user interactions you're most likely familiar with, while giving you the words to describe their effectiveness. As you think about giving and receiving peer feedback, keep in mind that future employers will be interested in seeing how you receive feedback and implement that feedback into your designs. Here's how you can leverage what you know and are learning to be an effective peer reviewer. Understand the activity. This should always be your first step. You have to understand the concept of the activity before you can explain how a peer's work can be improved. It's a recommended best practice to complete the activity before you move on to reviewing the work of others. Provide descriptive feedback. Peer review in UX design primarily focuses on describing issues that need to be improved in the design. The best way that you can provide feedback in peer reviews is to think of what you've learned about UX and best design practices, and use that to describe what you see or experience. Sharing your unique perspectives without telling your peers how to specifically improve their designs may spark some creativity within the designer whose work you're critiquing. Leverage that. Pick 2 or 3 things you liked about their work. Specifically, this is where you speak to why the design does a good job of completing the assignment. Giving positive feedback before critical feedback provides encouragement and support. Pick 2 or 3 things that can be improved and provide actionable advice. In particular, find the areas that you think can be improved and think about how they can be changed. Then, explain why you think that change is important for your fellow learner to consider. Refer back to a video or reading from the week if necessary. Be respectful and kind. Peer reviews work best when feedback is honest and the tone is respectful. Try using phrases like, "I have a couple of thoughts to share," or "I like what you've done here. Have you considered?" Or, "When I completed the assignment, I found it helpful to..." Using definitive phrases like "you need to" or "this is wrong" may make your fellow learners feel attacked. Now that you understand how to reply to your peers, let's look at an example. Here is what a peer review for this certificate looks like. On the left, you have the prompt and a link to the peer's work to review. On the right, there's an area where you award points based on the assignment rubric. The rubrics change and adjust based on the criteria of each assignment. This peer review is based on a fictional assignment to pick an idea for your first project app. This peer's assignment says that their project idea is to design a loading screen for a flea market. In reviewing this idea, the learner has a specific idea in mind, so on the rubric, we'll give them 2 points. But it's missing the second component. The idea must work as a mobile app, so we'll award them no points for that section. Now that you've evaluated the assignment, you can add a comment at the bottom of the page. In this area, you could respond with, "Hi, this is a great start. The prompt you've picked is really engaging. It has a clear problem to solve and a user for the product. I noticed you did not mention a device for this product. Have you considered a device? It might be a good idea to take a look back at the Project 1 reading and consider the device requirements." And once you're ready, you can hit Submit Review. And that's it. While you're reviewing other work, you should be receiving feedback on your own assignment. Here are a few things that you should keep in mind as you read the feedback from your peers. Stay open-minded. The feedback from your peers is coming from a place that is different from yours, and that's great. When looking at their feedback, it's important that you really think about where that feedback is coming from and how it can improve the user's experience with your product. Remember your goal. Take some time to look at the feedback you've been provided and look at how it applies to your users' goals. Would it help get them closer to what you're envisioning? If so, think about applying the feedback. If not, think about why it wouldn't be effective and document that for use later. Keep your own agency. Remember that you are the lead designer on this project. If you disagree with feedback, that's okay. As you continue to work in the design field, you'll realize that everyone can have different opinions about creative work. What's important is that you, as the lead designer for your project, can look at the work you're creating and know that it meets your users' goals as efficiently as possible. Being able to effectively provide and receive feedback from other UX designers makes you a better designer and prepares you for a career full of ideation and iteration. Keep in mind, this is a new endeavor. You're all here to learn and become better designers. Good luck as you move forward.